I love you, Paris. It was a cold morning in January when my journey began. I was flying from Manchester to Paris, my first ever solo trip. Just me, my suitcase, and my excitement. At the airport, I felt both nervous and happy. I'd dreamed of visiting Paris for years, and now it was really happening. When the plane took off, I looked out of the window. The clouds looked soft and white, and everything below became smaller and smaller. I smiled to myself. I was finally on my way. After a short flight, the pilot said we were about to land in Paris. I looked outside, and there it was, the Eiffel Tower. From the airplane window, I could see it standing tall and shining in the distance. I couldn't believe it. It felt like a dream. When we landed, I went through passport control and got my luggage. Everything went smoothly. The airport was big and full of people speaking French. I loved hearing the sound of a new language all around me. Outside the airport, the air was cool and fresh. I took a taxi to my hotel. The driver was kind and greeted me with a cheerful bonjour. As we drove through the city, I looked out the window. The streets were filled with pretty buildings, cafes, and lights. Even in winter, Paris looked warm and alive. I could see people walking with scarves, holding coffee cups, chatting, and laughing. I could already feel the magic of the city. By the time I checked into my hotel, it was evening. The streets were glowing with lights and full of life. I walked outside to explore. I could smell fresh croissants and warm bread from bakeries nearby. The scent was amazing, soft, buttery, and sweet. I found a small restaurant near my hotel. It looked simple but cozy. I sat by the window, ordered dinner, and watched people walk by outside. The food was delicious, maybe because everything just felt so peaceful and happy. As I finished my meal, I looked out and saw the Eiffel Tower shining far away. My heart started to beat faster. I knew where I was going next. After dinner, I wrapped up in my coat and started walking toward the tower. The streets were quiet but bright. I followed the lights until I reached the park, and then I saw it. The Eiffel Tower. It was more beautiful than I ever imagined. Tall, strong, and covered in golden light. People from all over the world were standing there, taking pictures, talking, and smiling. But for me, it felt like time had stopped. I just stood there, staring at it. And then, the lights started to sparkle. Thousands of tiny lights shining all over the tower, like stars dancing in the night sky. It was magical. I felt a mix of joy and peace, something I can't really describe in words. I walked closer until I stood right beneath the Eiffel Tower. Looking up, I could see every detail, the iron lines, the lights, the sky above. It was so big, yet so delicate. I whispered to myself, "This is beauty." I stayed there for a long time, just watching and thinking. I thought about how far I'd come, from Manchester to Paris, alone, chasing a dream. And now, standing here, I felt proud. I felt free. Later that night, I walked back to my hotel, still smiling. The streets were quiet now, but I could still see the Eiffel Tower glowing behind me. That night, before I went to sleep, I thought about everything I'd seen. The lights, the smells, the sounds, and that beautiful tower. It wasn't just a trip. It was a moment I'll never forget. Paris had shown me something special, the beauty of the world, and the joy of being alone but not lonely. As I closed my eyes, I whispered, "Thank you, Paris."